Mountain National Military Park. My name is Diana Bramble, and I'm the superintendent for the Southern Campaign Group Park, which includes Kings Mountain National Military Park. I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. We're here to commemorate the March of the Eagle Mountain event and the events that
Present, colors.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
with the Over Mountain Victory Trails Association, who is going to get us started, I believe, with reading the names of the patriots that fell in battle here.
James Williams, Lieutenant Colonel James Steen, Major William Chronicle, Captain William Edmondson, Captain John Maddox,
John Smart, Private Daniel Sisk.
They'd wish me one more day to stay, but since it fell into my lot that I should rise and you should not.
Hold your fire lock. Right, face. Forward. Out. Waiting for our safety folks to get in. Counter fire lock. Boys, fire lock. With powder only. Prime and load. Boys, fire lock. Fight ready. Fight guys. Fire. 3 steps forward. Disperse. Huzzah! Command group, mark time, mark! Detail, halt! Left, face! Dismiss!
The officers did something that they traditionally didn't do in the military, and that was to divide their forces. They were afraid that if they were going down one side and Ferguson was coming up the other, they would miss him.
My name is Thomas Morgan. I had took my family over the mountain back in '74. And like every other man that crossed those mountains, I joined the militia. I served under Colonel John Sevier, Noah Chucky Jack's what we called him. But this was unlike anything we'd ever experienced, because we all knew that we was riding against the most powerful army in the world. We knew our chances were slim. And as we sat there that afternoon in the pouring rain, here come a whole group of men riding in from Surrey County, North Carolina. They were being led by Major Winston and a great big man named Colonel Benjamin Cleveland. Now, I'd heard of old Ben Cleveland. That man was notorious for hanging loyalists. If you was loyal to King George and you run into Ben Cleveland, the last sound you hear will be your neck snap at the end of the rope. That old man will hang you. And I liked him. Our army was growing. And later that night, some scouts came in. They'd found old Ferguson. He was camped a couple of days' ride from us, a place called Gilberttown. We got up the next morning in the pouring rain, and all of our commanders had met under a big oak tree. You see, we were all militia, and every militia had its own colonel. We had more colonels than the ear of corn. But the only colonel we had that wasn't from the Carolina was Colonel William Campbell from Virginia. So they had voted him our overall commander. We took to the saddle that morning. We went thundering across the Catawba River. We was headed straight for him like a lightning bolt. There was an older gentleman right over from him that day. Everybody in the settlement knew this man. Robert Young was his name. Robert was 62 years old. And for you folks that don't know, Robert had named his rifle after his wife Mary. But he didn't call it Mary, he called it Sweet Lips, because that's what he called Mary. I seen Robert raise that rifle. I watched him take a real careful aim. And I heard him say, "We'll see what Sweet Lips can do." And when he touched that trigger, Ferguson came out of the saddle. But his horse spooked. And his foot was hung in the stirrup. You know, by the time the boys got his horse stopped, he had 8 more holes in. Ferguson told his men when he got to Kings Mountain, he said, "God Almighty and his angels won't take me off this mountain." He had no idea how right he was.